Jamhuri Day. Here are 7 serious questions and reflections about Kenyan independence. As Kenya celebrates 60 years of independence from colonial Britain and the admission into the commonwealth of nations, there is so much to reflect on about Kenya's independence after so many years. Here are 7 serious questions for you. 1. Have you ever felt that this independence isn't quite fully functioning as it should? 2. Have you wondered why Kenyans and Africans in general aspire to live in a different culture and mindset than what we truly are as Africans? That being truly African isn't enough. 3. Have you asked yourself why we were given foreign names, okay, through the church, for instance? 4. That we are proud to master English very well, and also proud not to be fluent in vernacular, except Swahili, to get by and to function. 5. Why we found it cooler to master the art of high dining, beautiful ways of eating using different or numerous forks and spoons and knives. And we are moving more and more away from eating with our bare hands. 6. Why the commonwealth doesn't benefit Kenyans or Kenya in that sense. For instance, most of us who are in the diaspora, we thought that being part of the commonwealth is a great thing, that we get a lot of benefits. But I don't know of any Kenyan or any African that can proudly say, yes, I got exempted from visas, I got exempt from this and that. Commonwealth is common for who? And that wealth that is common, who benefits from that wealth? And number 7, I don't know how to do 7, but if you don't care about these things or never even reflected on them, does it really matter to you? Do you care to know about Kenya, the true Kenya, the history of Kenya, who we truly are, different from what we are being taught in our present educational system? Who are we as Kenyans? What is our history beyond the 60 years of independence? Who knows? Who knows? Do you care to know? You see, these are tough questions that we Kenyans in the diaspora, after we have settled out in the West and have fully understood how things run, because we think about Africa all the time. You know, you can take us away from Africa, but Africa will never leave us. And every African that you meet out here in the West has serious concerns about the state of Africa and things that we took for granted in the past. We are trying to undo the lies that we were fed as young people about the aid coming from Africa, to Africa, the free money coming to Africa. The president's, past presidents' photos on the newspapers, shaking hands with great Western leaders. And the title that really fooled me as a young person was, Germany is our friend, or the West is our friend. And so it really fools us to think that we are liked, we are loved, we are important. Kenya is on the map. We are a magnet to all these good and great and free things. And when you come out here in the West and you're looking for that favor, you're looking to be treated, you are known. Yeah, we Kenyans are known. And you're looking for that, and you find that nobody cares about you. Nobody is as generous to you as we were told that they love us. And then you study the state of things in university about the International Monetary Fund and how it operates in countries like Kenya and in Africa, and how so much Africa is in debt, and that Africa can never get out of debt. I got really, really angry. I got really angry. First of all, because I felt that we had been lied to, that all these pictures are telling you about, all these newspaper and TV public relations that we were told, they were all lies. And then when we hear about donations and all that, we feel, oh my goodness, it's not for free. There is so much tied into that. And that's why Kenya and Africa is behind. And so we go into the journey of undoing all these lies, of even hating our leaders. I actually broke up with Kenya for a while because I felt betrayed as a young person. Because I was one of those that used to sing in a choir praising the leadership and, feeling that that's the greatest. And as a Kenyan, I am loved everywhere by the West. And when we come and live out here, it was all an illusion. It was all a lie. And it's taken me a very long time to build back, to understand what is really at stake, and to love Kenya back, to take Kenya back. And I love Kenya, I would say. I love Kenya. And when I do videos like this, it is giving back the knowledge that I have been able to get out here with the hope that I can help enlighten those that are not enlightened. Although this time in 2023, December 2023, December 12th, Jamhuri Day 2023, a lot of Kenyans are enlightened. A lot of Africans are enlightened. And it's because I am a person who consumes a lot of knowledge, and I understand a lot of politics, and I search this, and I'm so proud to see that Kenyans in Kenya are asking very, very tough questions and holding people responsible and wanting something different. So it is the time of awakening for the African people to really take back their place in the world and to stop the lies and to stop the manipulation and to stop the games being played on Africa and to stop the theft of African resources and to stop the crippling of Africa through the theft of our resources. And at the end, you understand that the world needs Africa to survive. It's not the other way around. It's not that Africa needs the world to survive. And Africa has been crippled for that reason. Because if Africa awakens and says, now, these are our resources, you are going to buy from us at a huge price and pay taxes for it. We're going to trade internationally in the right way. Everyone else is going to be at the mercy of Africa. And that is the core of why Africa has to be suppressed. That's why Africa has to be to suffer under the yoke of heavy, heavy debt. That is the game. That is the big game. But it's not going to go on like that anymore. Africans have said, no, we have seen through you. Game over. Game over. You may ask me, so what gives you the right to speak about these things? I'm glad you asked. You see, I am Jamhuri. I was born on December 12th. I am a child of the independence of Kenya. I am the child of the Republic. And I have carried this name over the years with a big burden. See, I felt always that I understood some things about politics, but they scared me a lot. So I pushed it away. I pushed it away. But I think that destiny has come to call, especially after understanding politics and how the West has been playing Africa. And over the years, I have immersed myself in the study of the Africa and the West, and to see what games are happening there. And I was so, at some point, I was very sad to see that Africa, our mother, is being pimped out. You know, that's the picture, a very graphic picture that came out into my eyes, to see how everybody out in the West is just coming to grab from Africa, and to see the landscape is being damaged by mining. And it's a mother, you know, very much abused by people from the West. And those that are pimping out Africa, you can do the math, you can figure out who those are. And it was very sad for me to, because I am a proud African. I know my place in the world. I know myself. I've discovered who I am, what I'm capable of, the knowledge I have, the understanding. And we as African people, we are not who we are being told that we are. We are not the bottom of the ladder. That is a system that has been created to put us lions and lionesses on the bottom of the ladder. And when you discover also that this is another lie, that we are unstoppable, and then the world has to reckon with us. And so I have accepted this burden of speaking about these things. It's a very big challenge, but it's a responsibility I would gladly accept, because of the knowledge that will not allow me to keep for myself. And I'm glad to see that other Africans also have this voice. And so I am not alone. And as Jamhuri, I call myself African living abroad. I am a social observer. I am a commentator of social events worldwide. I am an interpreter of these events, and I'm also a storyteller. And I do this for the benefit of humanity, to build bridges between countries and between cultures in order to make the world a better place. So why are we talking and still talking about colonization in 2023, the end of 2023? Most of us think that, oh, it ended when we got independent. But I have discovered something out here in the West, because the further the many years I lived away from Kenya, the more things became clearer. But also studying the histories of other countries, I recognize that colonization is a template that was used in Africa, in Asia, in the Caribbean, in Canada, in USA, and is still being used. And I discovered also that it never ended. It was just repackaged, and is still in full operation, and is using the puppets of the country, the leaders of countries, to still, extend its power. And I'm sure that some leaders of countries will come across this video, and you can do with it whatever you want. But you understand me very well. Very well. It's a very colonization, and the powers behind it are very, very powerful. And so Africa, what Africa really got after independence is basically cultural independence. I'm so grateful that we won our cultural independence. We got our languages back, our national dress, our foods, our songs. Yet there are places that are still yearning to be independent at this time. There are many indigenous people who are decimated completely, a tribe that never, that was decimated. There is no single one existing. It was a very brutal system. And so there are people, a lot of people, even as we speak in 2023, still fighting for their independence. So many African countries and Asian countries got cultural independence, but economically, they remain behind because of those powers that are still holding them back at this time. And so these are the things that we are fighting right now with words, and some people are taking massive action to do this. And if you look at how many countries, especially here in the West, they look at Africa as a very poor country, as a needy country that needs to be saved, that needs aid all the time, whose people are dying, it's full of disease. We are not like that. It is a system, again, that is part of the system that aims to put Africa down like that. And it's also controlling the leaders of the countries, as I said before. I mean, I know that African leaders want the best for the country, for their country, but they're being controlled. And when they get out of line, we know they get assassinated. And there are numerous of those. I do not even need to mention their names because right now many Africans know that very well. And also another way to put Africa down is through diseases. There's so many diseases manufactured and set off in Africa to spread as pandemics, to control the population. The less Africans they are, the better. It is reported that many women in Africa have been sterilized. And it's not only Africa, other countries as well. And these things should make you really angry. And also wars that are being fought in Africa. Every time there is a guerrilla war being fought, there's so many weapons around. Who delivers those weapons to fight? Who creates the terrorist groups in Africa? And if you want to know, just follow the money. Wherever there is unrest, there will be some resources on the ground. And you will see that when people get displaced, then the powers swoop in and get those resources. Why do you think Congo is at war all the time? The richest country in Africa, Congo, is so rich, it's so lush, it has everything, yet it's considered the poorest country. And why are there airstrips in the middle of the jungle in the Congo? What are they doing there? We know these things, we know. It's not only me, everybody knows, and every African is so upset by this. And we are doing our best to let you know what is going on so that you can ask these questions and so that you know why Africa is so poor. Why, when we come to visit Africa, there are so many hardworking people. Everybody's walking up and down. They are trying the very best to improve the economy, but it's going nowhere. Why? Why? You see, many Africans are now awakening, and the knowledge is not only limited, as I said, to the diasporans. Everybody knows. Many of you know. And if you don't, inform yourself, do your research. Go on YouTube. That's where the independent researchers are and reporters. And so where is Africa going to go now? That's a very good question. You only need to look at Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso. Swahili is being adopted as the main African language to unite Africa. That is so exciting. So we can really look forward to a lot of great things happening as we go forward. There is so much that I could say in this video. My question is, are you feeling the winds of change as an individual? Because it's time for us Africans. It is time for Africa. It is inevitable. And right now, what you see is happening in Africa, happening in the world, is a rebirth. And what we are going through is birth pain, the shift of power, the shift for, and Africa is going to shift into leadership, because right now the old system is crumbling. It is crumbling. And the world, as the world shifts to Africa, I want to say, get ready. Get ready. It's going to be a wonderful future for Africa. A wonderful for Africa. And I'm so proud of us Africans that we are resilient. We have gone through a lot in Africa and in outside Africa, and we are still here. So congratulations to all of us. And this will be a true independence, not only for Kenya, but for the rest of Africa. With this few words or many words, I would like to say, asante sana. Asante sana. Mungu awabariki. And if you like this message, if it challenged you, if it was just an entertainment for you, I would encourage you to comment on it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. Asante.